Hello and welcome to the program from the State Assemblies. On this episode, Kogi State House of Assembly urges EFCC to remove former Governor Yahaya Bello's name from its list of wanted persons. Bayelsa State House of Assembly confirms 14 nominees as commissioner designates. Jigawa Assembly constitutes ad hoc committee to review and harmonize state electoral laws. Plus, Cross River State Assembly calls on state government to expedite process of bringing succor to victims of whirlwind destruction. These and many more stories will come your way on this episode of the program. I am Itaire Ikben. Many thanks for joining us. Welcome once again to the program, and we begin from Lokoja, North Central Nigeria, where the Kogi State House of Assembly urges the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, to remove the name of former Governor Yahaya Bello from its list of wanted persons. This resolution came after Jibrin Abu, a member representing Ajaokuta State constituency, presented a matter of urgent public importance on the floor of the House. Jacob Sani reports.
The plenary was a continuation of a section held on Thursday, March 28, 2024, with discussion primarily revolving around approvals and procedural matters. However, amidst the agenda, the session took a turn towards urgent matters of public concern. Jibrin Onohoza Abu, the representative of Ajaokuta constituency, raised alarm over recent reports circulating across the various media platforms, both traditional and social, concerning the former governor of Kogi State, Yahaya Bello. Abu emphasized that these reports, instigated by actions from the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, have stirred unrest among the populace of Kogi State and the nation as a whole.
The Seventh Legislative Assembly of Kogi State in August and September 2021 berated the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission upon the completion of its investigation over allegation of 20 billion bailout diversion against the former governor of Kogi State, Alhaji Yahaya Bello, through a fixed account at Sterling Bank in Lokoja. The EFCC has continued the trajectory of persecuting the former governor against all known legal decencies and now likened by most to personal vendetta. But the question is, why?
The Assembly unanimously supported the call to halt the spread of unverified information regarding Alhaji Yahaya Bello, the former governor of the state. In response to the issue, Speaker Aliu Yusuf outlined the resolutions of the House regarding the matter.
As an institution, we are not against the agencies of government carrying out their function. But we said they should do it within the ambit of law that establishes them. And that the Gestapo way of handling the matter as it concerns a citizen of this state, particularly the former governor, is not acceptable. And that the agency should use every available means within the ambit of the law to do whatever they want to do. But this Gestapo way of getting somebody through media trial to satisfy some plea or please some people somewhere is not acceptable to us, and that the country belongs to all of us, and we will use the law to fight whatever we think is right.
The House condemned a statement made by unidentified legal figure proposing military involvement in a case that does not pose a threat to internal security or its equivalents. Jacob Sani, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the Speaker, Kogi State House of Assembly, Aliu Umar Yusuf, has proposed a bill to establish a pre-court house aimed at addressing disputes before resorting to court proceedings. This was presented on the floor of the House. Jacob Sani again tells us more.
Speaker Aliu Umar Yusuf believes that rushing all kinds of dispute to full-blown court proceedings without exploring available means of resolution is inadequate for dispersing justice. He proposes that the bill will promote the availability of various settlement processes by neutrally evaluating such disputes.
I wish to present for the notice of the Honorable House a proposed private member bill in consonance with Order 12, Rule 17(2) of the Standing Order of the House.
If approved, the proposal aims to facilitate quick and effective adjudication of justice.
Distinguished Honorable Police, permit me at this juncture to have the pleasure of having the personal experience of laying the bill before House.
Thank you very much.
It is expected that of the Kogi State House of Assembly will deliberate on the bill on another day. Jacob Sani, NTA News.
And away from north-central Nigeria to the south-south of the country, where the Bayelsa State House of Assembly has screened and confirmed a list of 13 nominees as commissioner designates out of the 14 names sent to the House by Governor Duoye Diri. Speaker of the House, Abraham Ingobere, advised the commissioner designates to serve the state with integrity and commitment in line with the prosperity mandate of the state government. Baratwa Perry Awe has details.
The Speaker of the Bayelsa State House of Assembly, Abraham Ngobere, had announced receipt the list of 14 commissioner nominees from Governor Duoye Diri for screening and confirmation. All the nominees were screened and confirmed except for the former Commissioner for Youth and Sport Development, Daniel Igali, who did not show up. During the exercise, which lasted for about 3 hours, the nominees were asked various questions that bordered on professional competence, experience, and capacity to serve the state.
By the grace of God, I am posted to Ministry of Works and Infrastructure. I expect Bayelsas to see a better, more sustainable way in terms of infrastructural development. The three major roles, as His Excellency has directed, will be continued with, while other projects, as His Excellency may direct, will be executed to the best of my ability and to the improvement of our entire Bayelsa state.
If peradventure given a ministry, the only thing that a seasoned politician, I'm to work with the people, work with the government, and ensure that government policies are carried out, and the cries of the people that are assigned to me in my ministry to is well taken care of.
In his remarks, Speaker of the House, Abraham Ngobere, said the screening was in compliance with the relevant section of the law establishing the legislature as enshrined in the Constitution. He urged the commissioner-designate to use their good offices and the relationship with the governor for the betterment of the state. The Speaker also called on the commissioner-designate to strengthen the existing relationship between the executive and the legislative arms of government. Ngobere, who expressed the resolve of the lawmakers to cooperate with the executive, said they would continue to put in place necessary framework to engender good governance.
Excellency, the governor of Nigeria State, and the also have to go with the confirmation of this house. So it's our constitutional duty. We are here to be screened and confirmed whether we are fit to work with His Excellency, the governor of Nigeria State.
It is now the prerogative of Governor Duoye Diri to appoint the commissioner-designate and assign portfolio to manage the state. From the Bayelsa State House of Assembly, Baratwaipre Awi, NTA News.
Subsequently, the remaining nominee, Daniel Igali, was also confirmed as commissioner designate, having gone through screening by the Bayelsa State House of Assembly and now ready for appointment by Governor Duoye Diri in Yenagoa. Speaker Abraham Ingoberi enjoined the commissioner designate to see his renomination as a clarion call to further render selfless service and contribute to the development of the state. Baratwaipre Awi was at plenary and again reports.
Baralade Daniel Igali was a former commissioner for youth and sport development who has been renominated by Governor Duoye Diri to serve in his executive council. Appearing before the House, Daniel Igali was among the 14 commissioner nominees earlier sent to the House for clearance. Daniel Igali, who was unavoidably absent when the other nominees were screened, was asked to take a simple bow and leave, being a member of the 4th and the 5th Assemblies.
I pass through these floors and I want to, on behalf of myself and my family, thank you for the honor of me. Today you all come again, and I'm the only person here, and it is because of that privilege that I was here as a former colleague, and I don't take it lightly. And anywhere I find myself, wherever I am sent to by His Excellency, you can rest assured that I will give a good account of not only myself, but of these allo chambers as someone who was here before.
In his remarks, Speaker of the House Abraham Ngobere said the screening was in compliance with the relevant section of the law establishing the legislature as enshrined in the Constitution. He urged the commissioner designate to use his good office and relationship with the governor for the betterment of the state. In another development, local government chairmen and councillors were in the House to understudy the proceedings of the Assembly to boost their performance at the Assembly at the local government level. From the Bayelsa State House of Assembly, Baratwaipre Awi, NTA News.
In Asaba, the Delta State capital, the State House of Assembly has adopted a report by House Committee on Public Petitions on the alleged trespass on cooperative landed properties in the state capital and environs belonging to Direct Labor Agency, Multipurpose Cooperative Society, and others by one Friday Okonkwo and his cohorts. Godfrey Nzekwe reports.
Presenting the report at the floor of the House, the Chairman House Committee on Public Petitions, Matthew Omonade, gave a preamble, petitioner's case, respondent's submission, investigative hearing, committee findings and recommendations. The House unanimously adopted the report of the committee.
The House at its sitting on Wednesday, 24th January 2024, received a petition, HAB number 3, on behalf of the Delta Public Service Workers Multi-Purpose Cooperative Union Limited, in brackets, parent body covering 4 cooperative societies with separate petitions, which is inclusive of the petition of the Civil Service Commission Staff Multi-Purpose Cooperative Society Limited, bracket close. On the alleged use of force and threat of violence in taking over parts of the landed property belonging to the Civil Service Commission Staff Multipurpose Cooperative Society Limited, hereinafter referred to as the petitioner, and some of its members, situate at Amachai Community, Okpana, Oshimiri North, local government area of Delta State, by Mr. Friday Okonkwo, Mr. Felix Okuleke, Mr. Austin Okule, and others operating under the Okpana Land Recovery Committee.
It is clear that the Public Petition Committee did evaluate the evidence that was given before it properly. It did absolute evaluation of the evidence given to them. Particularly the character of the new leader, Friday Okonkwo, who participated in dual capacities, he signed the deed of conveyance with the elders, your part of the community, And in another case, he considered himself into a land recovery committee and started harassing of the recommendations in the report of the Public Petition Committee on the alleged use of force, threat, or violence in taking over parts of the landed property belonging to the Civil Service Commission by Friday Okokwo, Mr. Felix Operepe, Mr. Austin Okoli, and others operating under the Upper Land Recovery Committee. Say aye. Those against saying the ayes have it.
In a separate interview with the chairman, House Committee on Compliance and Deputy Speaker Ato Akpawo on how he intends to ensure that the recommendation of the committee is implemented, he has this to say.
For legislative compliance committee, we are very ready. The compliance committee is headed by me. For me, particularly, I'm ready. You can see that since we started, we have been doing public enlightenment.
In Asaba, Godfrey Nzekwe, NTA News.
In another development, a bill for a law to amend the Delta State Structure and Signage Advertisement Agency Law 2015 and for other related matters connected therewith has passed through the first reading. State Assembly correspondent Godfrey Nzekwe again reports that the House has also confirmed the appointment of the immediate past Permanent Secretary, Government House, Edwin Ogidigbegba, as Chairman, Delta State Bureau for Pensions.
The bill for a law to amend the Delta State Structure and Signage Advertisement Law 2015 and other matters connected therein passed through the first reading after presentation by the Majority Leader, Emeka Nwobi.
I move that the bill for a law to amend the Delta State Structure for Signage and Advertisement Agency Law 2015 and for other matters connected being now read for House Bill number 10, first reading.
Thereafter, the House dissolved into Committee of the Whole House for the screening and confirmation of Edwin Ogidigbegba as Chairman, State Bureau for Pensions, Emorotu Jude, Member, State Independent Electoral Commission, and Ifeanyi Egunyenga as Chairman, Job Creation Officer of the Delta State Job and Wealth Creation Bureau, respectively. The candidates were confirmed after a thorough screening.
What we need to do for us in Delta is to find a way of offsetting the actual benefits. It is the actual benefits that is giving us the problem we're facing in Delta. There was a complete lack of understanding of the operations of the scheme. The contributory pension scheme has three legs. The contribution by the public officer, the contribution by the state government, and the actual benefits. The actual benefits are what the officer has worked, what the benefits that have been calculated before the introduction of the contributory pension scheme. That fund had been created, that pool had been created, and if it had not been tampered with, we would not have had these issues of actual. In favor of the motion that this honorable House will now confirm the appointment of Mr. Edwin Ebonomu Ogidigbegba as Chairman of the Delta State Bureau for Pensions. Say aye. Those against the ayes have it.
The Speaker, Amomo Timigowo, encouraged them to carry out their duties in line with the more agenda of the State Governor. In Asaba, Godfrey Nzekwe, NTA News.
In a related development, the Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly has passed an amended version of the Independent Electoral Commission Law, Cap 69. Let's hear from correspondent Isikak Okon on that.
Before the passage of the bill, Chairman House Committee on Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs, Mfon Idung, informed the House that the public hearing, which had stakeholders across the state and various ministries, agencies, civil society organizations, met meaningful inputs that assisted the committee to arrive at the recommendations. He expressed hope that the amendments of the Independent Electoral Commission Law will update the electoral laws in the state State in line with the modern and acceptable electoral reforms and guidelines.
Promote transparency, accountability, the electoral process, thereby guaranteeing the independence of the electoral umpire, the Commission, and instill confidence in the electoral process in the state. The committee finally recommends that the proposed amendment to the law be accepted and that the bill be passed into law by this honorable House. Right Honorable Speaker, my dear colleagues, I so submit.
The House later considered the amended clauses 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 9 at the Committee of the Whole, where the amendments were adopted. The Speaker, Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly, Udemotong, directed the Clerk of the House to forward the bill to State Governor
to amend Independent Electoral Commission Law Cap 69, Law of Akwa Ibom State 2024, and for other matters that will be read the third time. Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Accordingly, the bill is hereby read the third time and passed into law. This is the law of the land.
Meanwhile, a bill for a law to establish a Akwa Ibom State Employment Trust Fund and other matters connected thereto has scaled through first reading and is sponsored by member representing Etmepo State Constituency, Mfon Idung. Nsikak Okon, NTA News.
In the meantime, the Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly has considered Akwa Ibom Electricity Regulatory Board to man the regulation of electricity infrastructure within the state. The bill, which is sponsored by member representing Esit Eket Ibenu State Constituency, Friday Udobia, has passed through its second reading. Again, Nsikak Okon reports.
A bill for a law to make provision for electricity generation, transmission and distribution within and for residents of Akwa Ibom State is to establish Akwa Ibom Electricity Regulatory Board and for other matters connected therewith. According to the lead sponsor of the bill, Friday Udobia, while speaking on the general principle of the bill, say it will promote policy and regulatory measures to ensure the expansion of efficient power generation, transmission and distribution capabilities in the state, as well as promote the development of a competitive electricity market.
As a new regime of state electricity market will give the state a unique opportunity and flexibility to address the perennial challenges affecting optimal electricity supply within the state without waiting for the federal government's leading. When this bill is passed into law, the state can explore innovative mechanisms to attract investment for large-scale projects, such as concessionary-based project arrangement or private-public partnership for projects in the state and other viable financing options.
Some lawmakers who spoke extensively say the bill will address technology limitation and outdated infrastructure that are responsible for value chain losses in the electricity supply. The lawmakers also note that the bill, when passed into law, will attract sustainable investments in new and efficient power generation.
The distribution company will pay the price that Akwa Ibom people will pay because we are the one generating this electricity. In fact, the government can, if the governor, given the kind of governor we have, you know how magnanimous he is. In fact, you nickname him SAN, Senior Advocate of the Needy. Being that Akwa Ibom State people are in need of power, he might even say that he might even give 1 month's electricity bill holiday.
This is about time. Igbo power expands from generation to distribution and even transmission, because that is the only way we can have close to 24-hour power supply, even 24-hour supply.
The Speaker of Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly, Udemotong, speaks.
The law to the provision for electricity generation, transmission, distribution within and for the residents of Akwa Ibom State establish a electricity regulatory board, and for other matters related will be read the second time. Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The bill is accordingly read the second time and committed to the House Committee on Special Projects, Monitoring and Implementation to report back to the House in 2 weeks.
Nsika Okon, NTA News.
And time now to join the sponsor of the Akwa Ibom Electricity Regulatory Board Bill, Friday Udobia. He is member representing Esit Eket Ibeno State constituency, and he spoke in Uyo with our correspondent Nsika Okon on the implication of the bill.
Tell us, what is the bill all about?
The bill is all about seeking to find a solution to the epileptic electricity power supply.
And what informs it?
Well, in line with the constitutional amendment that enacted the Electricity Act 2023, this bill is informed by the need to make for a reliable, efficient, and sustainable electricity supply for the people of Akwa Ibom State. That's what the bill seeks to achieve.
Looking at the power situation in the state now, how will this law help to stabilize the power situation?
It will actually help because the bill is seeking also to provide for a law to regulate the generation, transmission, and distribution of power supply in the state. So that means that it will guarantee the confidence of potential investors coming into the state to engage our license for the generation, distribution, and transmission of electricity within the state and outside the state.
Okay, what would be the benefits and the implication?
The benefit and implication is that this bill is seeking to promote policy and regulatory measures to ensure the expansion of this efficient power supply. The implication is that we definitely will come out of where we are now. We are presently experiencing epileptic power supply, and it is certain that this is going to become a transformative development in the power sector, which will result to improve electricity supply.
Okay, if you look at some communities now in Akwa Ibom State, we have so many communities in Akwa Ibom State, the urban area, that they don't know what is light. So how would they benefit from this electricity supply?
Yes, thank you very much. That's where the Arise agenda of our dear Governor, His Excellency Pastor Omo Obaseno, will play a major role seeking to enhance development or ensure development in the rural area. Now, I can tell you in simple terms, coming down to the understanding of Akwa Ibomite, that this will mean extending the service supply to the rural area, in the remote areas where facilities will be installed, and also individual residents will be metered and then regulated to ensure they also enjoy this electricity supply. My advice to the Akwa Ibomite at this point will be that the moment you see this project commenced, all that Akwa Ibom needs to do is to provide adequate support for the government to succeed in this project. Because I'm sure the moment the executive established the policy and the bill is signed into law, then the policy will be legislated adequately from the House of Assembly. Project will commence to ensure the implementation. So they need to give the governor adequate support for any electricity project commencing to succeed. There's also a bill to provide for security and protection of state government infrastructures. So that also will provide the necessary security of facilities in the states, which the electrification infrastructure is also part of what will be protected. So, and you know, the governor has inaugurated the community wash, which cuts across every community in the state. So the engagement of this community watch will ensure and enforce the protection and security of these facilities.
That is the most we can take. Thank you for staying tuned.
You are watching the program from the state assemblies, where we bring you up to speed with legislative activities from the state parliaments. We now take a break and we'll be back shortly.
Information is power. Everyone wants power. So feel powerful with the NTA News mobile app, the one-stop information center. Real news at your fingertip. Be the first to report by uploading first-hand information on the U-Report link, and be the first to know by simply clicking on any of the links on the sidebar for headlines, domestic and foreign news, economy, security, politics, sports, and more. Stream live on your smartphone and tablets and stay connected. It's pretty easy. Simply download NTA News app from your Google Play Store and you're good to go. NTA News mobile app, your access to real-time information.
Many thanks for staying with us, and we still stay with the South-South, where the Cross River State Governor Basi Otu is tasking leaders on the need to uphold the virtues of courage, truth, and integrity in all situations, observing that this is critical to sustenance of an egalitarian society. The governor stated this while swearing in Catherine Ujong Ubi as the substantive clerk of the Cross River State House of Assembly. Justina Etim has the details.
Catherine Ubi is the most senior officer who has served as deputy clerk of the House and as such entitled to serve as the new clerk after the former left office. Although some political maneuvering almost cost her that position, but with the facts coming to light, Governor Basi Otu approved the appointment of Ubi as the substantive clerk and suspended the Assembly Service Commission for misguided information. Today, Governor Tu is formally swearing in the superior officer, Catherine Ubi, as the substantive clerk of the Cross River State House of Assembly, describing her office as one of the vital tools which serves as a link, boosting cordial relation between the legislature and the executive.
It is always very good to stand on the part of justice than to inflict pain or problem just to assuage our egos. Cross River State is one family. All we want and share is to build a strong, virile, and an egalitarian state that people will be proud of. We'll continue to strengthen the legislature to make sure that we deliver on the right and appropriate platform to our people.
In a citation read by the Deputy Majority Leader of the Cross River State House of Assembly, Davis Etta, the new clerk is described as a hard-working and seasoned administrator with a passion to impact positively. The newly sworn-in clerk appreciates the efforts of Governor Tu administration aimed at bringing succor to the people.
I would like to thank Your Excellency, the sweet prince of Cross River State. You are really sweet. And you have brought a season of sweetness to the people of Cross River State. We are just not talking because we want to talk, but that is what is on ground. And everybody is saying that. Permit me to bring a typical example. One of my domestic staff went to market last month and came back and said, "Ha, Sweet Prince has done market people well." I said, "What has he done this time?" He said that the taxes, levies, and all of that, all these tickets that they used to pay between 800 to 1,000 and something, they now pay 100 naira a day. So you can imagine the difference that the people are so happy.
It would be recalled that the 10th Assembly, under the leadership of Elvet Ayambem, had earlier rejected the appointment of Patrick Edi as clerk of the House, after gathering that the Assembly Service Commission misled the governor by recommending him for the clerkship position, which is based on hierarchy. In Calabar, Justina Etam, NTA News.
In a bid to tackle kidnapping and smuggling on roads and waterways, the Cross River State House of Assembly is calling on the state government through the Ministry of Transport and Marine Services to enforce color code numbering and registration of all commercial vehicles in the state. Uduak Etim reports that the resolution was reached based on the motion sponsored by a member representing Obubra 2 constituency, Egbe Abeng.
Marine transport has for centuries assisted travelers and business operators access destinations and to meet up with their businesses as well as fishing process. This means of transportation has become one of the most efficient, especially when safety measures are in place. Just like road transport, which is more accessible and versatile mode of transportation for passengers. However, to ensure sanity in both transportation sector and Cross River State, the need for enforcement of color code, numbering and registration of commercial vehicles and boats is key. Member representing Obubra 2 State constituency, Igbe Abeng, raised a motion calling on the state government through the Ministry of Transport and Marine Services to enforce color code to tackle insecurity as well as orderliness among boat riders and commercial drivers in the state.
I urge the 10th Assembly to take action to enforce the proper code, color code, numbering, registration of all vehicles operating within the state.
Fast enough to pick up the number, because the number can never be true. One boat, one number. Even if we have 100 boats or 200 boats, it will be easy for us to track down good. I am totally in support of this motion.
The issue of color code cannot be overstated because it is very necessary. Those days, you come to Calabar, you know the very car or bike you're going to stop to carry you to the destination. So this great motion has been moved, and I think the state government have to rise and do something immediately because it needs an emergency.
If you are security conscious of this, they have to enter any vehicle, especially the gasoline. You can immediately text your person and say, I've entered so-so vehicle with so-so number and I'm heading to so-so place in case you are not found back at home.
Speaker, Cross River State House of Assembly, Elvet Ayambem, described the motion as a welcome development, noting that this will not only stop criminal activities, but will also generate revenue for the state.
The taxi driver is moving on and knows that there is a number engraved on the body of the car that can be easily identified and reported to the necessary authorities. Such a person is always very careful to have a structure where this means of identification and coloration is done adequately that can bring criminal operators to book. It's a welcome development.
The motion is to bring back the lost glory of the state and to identify real transport operators. In Calabar, Uduak Etam, NTA News.
In the meantime, the Cross River State House of Assembly has called on the state government, in conjunction with the State Emergency Management Agency, Lagos State, to enforce color code numbering and registration of all commercial vehicles in the state. Uduak Etim reports that the resolution was reached based on the motion sponsored by a member representing Obubra 2 constituency, Igbe Abeng, raised a motion calling on the state government through the Ministry of Transport and Marine Services to enforce color code numbering and registration of all commercial vehicles in the state. and other relevant agencies to expedite the process of bringing succor to the victims of the whirlwind destruction in Obubra, urban and adjoining communities. The motion was sponsored by member representing Obubra State constituency, Ovat Agbo, during plenary. Udwak Etim reports.
Member representing Obubra 1 State constituency, Ovat Agbo, had earlier visited Obubra urban and adjoining communities in Obubra local government area to ascertain the level of destruction caused by the recent windstorm in the area. This, however, prompted the motion brought before the House by the lawmaker, calling on the state government and relevant agencies to provide succor to the victims of the disaster. He noted that over 100 houses were destroyed and other property worth millions of naira, as well as electric poles and transformer, thereby keeping the community in darkness.
Mr. Speaker and honorable colleagues, the situation in Obubra is so pathetic that with the hardship, present hardship in the country, so many houses, as I speak to you right now, they are all on the ground. Their zincs are on the ground. The state government, in conjunction with NEMA and other sister management agencies, LGAs, to take urgent steps and measures to bring succor to the affected LGAs across the state.
Other lawmakers expressed concern over the incident while appealing for prompt intervention.
And so I want to align my voice with them by calling on the State Emergency Management Agency, SEMA, to immediately do something to help the people of the affected people, the victims of this windstorm.
Mr. Speaker, let me lay my voice in this particular motion because I was an eyewitness. When I traveled, I need to go there to find out what is going on. So I thank the mover of the motion because with this, our dear colleagues here, I know we will let voice to see how the government will intervene and do something as so support.
Speaker, Cross River State House of Assembly, Elvet Ayambem, emphasized the need for tree planting across the state, which is said will minimize the impact of global warming.
So the Ministry of Forestry has to do something in that light. Let afforestation be done, especially across the 18 governments that makes up Cross River State. It's very imperative in order to ameliorate the suffering of our constituents.
There was also a resolution by the House that Forestry Commission should embark on massive reforestation measures across the state to reduce effects of climate change. In Calabar, Udwak Etam, NTA News.
We now go on a short break. The program from the state assemblies continues with reports from the northeastern part of the country shortly. Welcome back and many thanks for staying with us. An executive bill seeking amendment of the bill controlling religious preaching activities in Bauchi State has passed through second reading on the floor of the Bauchi State House of Assembly. If amended, the bill is expected to, among other things, ensure that all religious preachings are in conformity with the discipline of the Holy Scriptures. Abdullahi Aminu has the details.
It is an executive communication seeking for the amendment of the bill guiding the religious preaching of 1987. It is with a view to ensuring control in all the preaching activities across the Bauchi state.
The enact law was establishment of the Bauchi State Religious Preaching Control Law and other related matters to undergo such reading as well.
Give any advice to the committee or during the third reading, we deal with the very serious celebration.
Also, at the proceedings of the House was a request for a review of the establishment law of Bauchi Oil and Gas Academy, Al-Galeri, to provide courses on instruction, research, and training in oil and gas technology. The House has received 4 executive bills after its resumption from the recess, which included that for the tenure extension of the 20 caretaker chairmen to 6 months, as their tenure will lapse at the end of this April 2024. In Bauchi, Abdullahi Aminu, NTA News.
And still on matters of religion, this time around in the northwest of the country, Sokoto State precisely, where the State Assembly has adopted a motion calling on the state government to convert the Sultan Mashido Wakat Center in the metropolis to an educational and skills acquisition center. This came to the fore after presentation of motion moved by Abubakar Shehu Yabo, member representing Yabo State constituency. Nuruddin Abdullahi Adili has details of that report.
The importance of education and skill acquisition in any society cannot be overemphasized as a catalyst for development, generates employment opportunities, and contribute to boost economic activities within the country. Skill acquisition is also a tool for eradicating poverty, hunger, wealth creation for self-reliance. Worried by the spate of insecurity and manner in which internally displaced persons roam the streets in the metropolis, being without access to basic amenities, as well as Islamic and Western education, a member representing Yabo constituency, Abubakar Shehu Yabo, presented a motion calling on the state government to convert Sultan Machido Wakaf Center to education and skill acquisition center for the children and widows displaced by banditry to make them productive. Yabo also praised that if converted, the major source of funding the center come from the state government, Zakat and Waqf Commission, international donors like African Development Bank, Islamic Development Bank, and some international charity foundation, as well as donation from well-to-do individuals within and outside the country.
Underage children roaming about in the town at midnight. Some of them are orphans, some of them they are IDPs. That's what drew my attention to call on the state government to convert the Sultan Machido Wakaf Center to a educational center.
In support of the motion, member representing Gorabawa North, Muhammad Bello Idris, called on the state government to make comprehensive census of the displaced persons to assist in carrying all the displaced people along.
And additionally, a new prayer, which was presented by myself, has also been agreed by the members to call on the state government to conduct a thorough research and comprehensive census of these vulnerable groups in order to properly rehabilitate them at that center.
Many members made their contribution in support of the motion.
Government should give them support to stand on their own, maybe to carry out their own businesses. Since the government will found the centers, less individuals to give their own contribution in support of this displaced person.
The Speaker, Tukurupala Bodinga, announced the House unanimous resolve to call on the state government to look at the possibility of converting the Wakaf Center to educational and skills acquisition center within the shorter period of time. From the Sokoto State House of Assembly, Nuruddin Abdullahi Adili, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the Jigawa State House of Assembly has constituted an ad hoc committee to review and harmonize state electoral laws to be in conformity with local government electoral laws of the National Assembly. This came to the fore shortly after the Inter-Party Advisory Council visited the chamber requesting for additional time before conducting the next local government elections in Jigawa State. Rabiu Sani is standing by with the details of that report.
Pursuant to Section 103, Subsection 1 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999 as amended, empowers the State House of Assembly to establish committees to assist the legislative arm of government in carrying out its functions. In line with these provisions and the House Standard Rules, the House Committee on Local Government, while presenting its report on a communique of the Inter-Party Advisory Council on matters around local government elections in Jigawa State, recommended for political parties in the state to be allowed to prepare adequately as requested before the next local government elections.
This Honorable House to consider the concern raised by the Inter-Party Advisory Council and initiate processes to review the laws established in the Commission.
As this election had its own authority of law, so it is good to look what they have bringing to us. If you evaluate what they have said, and the government conducted election of local government, may get too early suit the government, and it will later be null the election.
After careful observations of the recommendations, the House, led by Speaker Haruna Ali Dangyatun, constituted an ad hoc committee to look into ways of harmonizing state laws to be in conformity with the local government electoral laws of the National Assembly. In a related development, the House Committee on Emergency Management presented its report following an oversight visit to Hadeja, Gumel, Ringim and Brunun Kudu Sema stores, as well as the head office of the State Emergency Management in Duse, with a view to ascertaining the condition of the stores.
At Ringim store, the committee observed that the store needs general renovation. Observation. At Hadeja, there is no firefighting facilities in the store.
I think what fire science is needed is not only encouragement for all the relationship with SEMA. That agency needs a total rehabilitation.
The report of the committee have been unanimously adopted and approved. In Duse, Ibrahim Sani, NTA News.
In another development, the Kano State House of Assembly has passed the Kano State Center for Disease Control and Prevention Bill 2024. Samira Hamisu Shira reports that the House has also adopted 2 motions for the provision of infrastructural facilities in Tudunwada and Makoda local government areas. Let's now hear from her.
The Kano State Center for Disease Control and Prevention Bill 2024 is an executive bill and has been in the corridors of the state legislature for months, undergoing rigorous scrutiny ranging from capacity building in Kaduna State to consultations with relevant stakeholders to ensure a rich and comprehensive document is produced, which was passed during Wednesday's plenary after consideration of the Committee of the Whole. It will, among other things, ensure curtailing outbreak of public health disease.
In the Committee of the Whole House, we deliberate Kano State Center for Disease Control and Prevention Bill 2024 from clause 1 to 30 therein. Additionally, to the Committee of the Whole House, Clerk, certainly.
The Right Honorable Speaker, Honorable Members, a bill for a law to establish the Kano State Center for Disease Control and Prevention candidate for the prevention, detection, investigation, monitoring, and the control of the communicable diseases and non-communicable diseases and the other related matters in Kano State, third reading.
Do I agree with the third reading?
Meanwhile, Representative Ahmad Muhammad Thomas of Makoda and his counterpart from BBG, Silalawan Shuaiki, moved a motion for the construction of a road from Dunawa to Samir Buka in Makoda and completion of an electrification work in Nata'ala and provision of electricity in Jillitan, all in Tudunwada local government area. They were unanimously adopted owing to the fact that the resolutions, if implemented, will emancipate the plight of the people in the communities.
A very important area, and it is an economic area that needs to have this kind of road network. In fact, this motion needs to be referred not only to the state government but the attention of the rural access and agricultural mobility program that the World Bank has invested so much in Kano State need to go there and accept this kind of road so that the rural areas will also have their own fair share of radio networks that will facilitate their transportation, that will facilitate their communications, and as well as improve the socio-economic engagement of our people in the rural area.
The importance of electricity in our communities cannot be overemphasized. The community will progress widely and also be connected to the world, because without electricity in any state or in any village, that village is condemned.
From the Kano State House of Assembly, Samira Hamisu Sharaka, NTA News.
On a sad note, Kano State House of Assembly has held a valedictory session in honor of late Aliyu Ibrahim Kundila, who represented Bangwai Shanono constituency. Kundila, who passed away early in April, was a first-timer at the Kano Assembly, having taken over from Ali Ibrahim Isa, who spent over a decade on the seat.
Saturday, the 7th of April 2024 will linger for a long time in the hearts of Kano Assembly lawmakers, where they woke up to the sudden demise of their colleague Ali Ibrahim Kundila, who represented Bagwe Shanono constituency. He was immediately buried according to Islamic injunctions. Being the first plenary after his demise, this Monday's plenary was dedicated for the paying of tribute to him by the lawmakers.
Colleagues said, I don't think I have never seen a bad moment of this gentleman. Very jovial, very patriotic, and very friendly. It is a prayer of myself and the entire members of this house that his family will be guided by the will of Allah.
Halil Ibrahim served at Udil as an administrator and later was transferred to Kura local government. Halil Ibrahim Kundila, Mr. Speaker, is a traditional ruler of good moral standing and as well an accomplished civil servant and a politician by excellence. And one of the most interesting things about the deceased is that he has never detached himself from his local community.
Here with us, a dedicated, hardworking, and honest, as almost everybody was saying here. He's very nice, hardworking, and dedicated.
The House also condoled with other prominent indigents of the state who passed away while it was on recess, which include Ado Shehu Bargu, Sarati Gidado, Aliyu Tijani, Nazifi Abakar Tanko, among others. From the Kano State House of Assembly, Samira Hamis Ishara, NTA News.
This is how far we can go on this week's episode of the program. But remember, you can still watch this episode as well as other programs on our social media handles scrolling on your screen. Let's do this again. We thank you so much for watching and do have a pleasant time out there. I am Mitaire Ikben. Bye for now.